In last week's episode, Jason showed his love for Starbucks. Nate joined the show. Jason did some lunchtime dancing. He also had a delicious salad with some delicious red potatoes, as well as put in some work at the gym. Let's get started with episode 13. Alright guys, so I actually forgot to do an intro for this video, so I'm going to use this time while Missy and I are walking and she's telling me how much she likes me. I'm using this time to tell you what's about to be in this week's episode. So we're basically going to be cooking spaghetti squash spaghetti. It's an awesome recipe. We're walking in HEB right now to get all the stuff we need, and then we're going to take it back to the house and get started with the recipe. Hope you enjoy the show, and now back to our featured program. Alright, so what do we get, Miss?
We got spaghetti squash.
Okay.
Big one.
Alright. Alright guys, so we got the spaghetti squash and we got the salad, but now what we need to do is get the ground turkey. So what's up guys, REPO here, back again, and today I'm going to be going over one of my favorite recipes. It's spaghetti, but we're using spaghetti squash instead of the noodles. And I want to share that with you guys today, so I'm super excited about this. It's one I've been wanting to do for a while, but I've never actually made it. Missy is the one who makes it, so Missy will be joining us today. There she is.
Basically what we're gonna make today is spaghetti squash baked in the oven and some big turkey meatballs that also go in the oven. So I usually put in the spaghetti squash first because this one takes about 45 minutes.
But we did already preheat the oven, so yes, we're good to go there, so that'll save us some time.
So you preheat the oven to 400, and then I'll be making the turkey meatballs, and I stick them in about 20 minutes, and they take about 20 to 25 minutes to cook. So first now we need to cut the spaghetti squash. Okay, so for me it's easier to start and just cut the tip off here. So I just usually try to get as close to it as I can.
So Missy, are you gonna come back in frame? Oh, Missy needed her willpower for the video, so she has that now. So what are we doing now?
So we've cut the spaghetti squash in half,
okay,
as you can see. And again, this is just my preference. I like to cut the tip off first because it just makes it easier for me to cut. And then you want to take a spoon or whatever scraper, and you scrape out the seeds and the strings. So you just, because you want to clean it out.
You want me to do that one?
Do you know how?
Yeah.
Okay.
The cool thing about doing this is it's kind of like carving a pumpkin in a way. Would you agree?
Yes. All right, so we got that one. Now we have to do the next one.
Oh, I gotta do them both?
Yeah, since you did such a great job, let's do this one.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Now you could carve this if you wanted to. I mean, you can either eat it or you could actually turn it into kind of a, like a Halloween thing, right?
No.
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 Nope.
All right, now that it's all clean, wash your hands.
I'm gonna wash mine too, because I did a lot of work in there. And we did wash our hands ahead of time.
Always wash your hands.
Always
okay.
wash your hands. Yep.
All right, now what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Now, I have a cookie sheet that I lined with aluminum foil, and the only reason why I lined it with aluminum foil is because it actually keeps the cookie sheet clean, so it saves you on washing the dish. So now what you want to do is you want to put a little bit of water.
Why do you have to put water on it?
For the steam, because that's how the spaghetti squash gets cooked.
Oh, it's a steam cook?
Mm-hmm. So you just put maybe like, fill it up, just, I don't know, quarter inch was that about a quarter inch?
Yeah, does it need to be hot or cold, or does it?
Nope, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're going to be putting it in the oven. Okay, what you can do is you can hand me the stuff.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay. All right, so what I do is I take some olive oil spray and I just lightly spray the spaghetti squash, just like that. All right, you want to hand me the Himalayan salt. Himalayan. Okay, so I take this Himalayan salt.
Why Himalayan salt?
It's a little bit stronger and it's actually better for you than regular salt. It has some definite health benefits, and I just kind of just put a little bit, not a lot, on there.
Sprinkle.
Just a sprinkle. Now hand me the black pepper. And then I just sprinkle a little bit of black pepper on there because it does give it a bit of a taste. after it's been roasted in the oven. All right, that's it. And if you want to, you can spread it. I'm not gonna do that today, but then what you wanna do is you wanna put the open face down. You want the hard shell to be up. And then what we do is we now stick it in the oven. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make turkey meatballs.
Okay.
And so the first thing we need is the turkey meat.
Okay.
And so typically we do buy our meat from Costco, but today we went to HEB and we got some Jenny O ground turkey. It's 85% lean, 15% fat. The reason why I got the 85%, because we all know how dry turkey meat can be.
Really can be.
Yeah, and so I usually get the one with a higher fat content just so it stays a little bit more moist, but it's still really, really good for you. Or should I say super? What? All right. So.
Was that a joke towards me?
I was trying to.
Oh, okay. Nice.
All right, so first thing we do is we just pop it in the bowl like that.
Okay.
You have 1 egg.
1 egg.
1 egg. And then
okay.
Put 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So the egg is more of a binding agent. The olive oil, again, because turkey meat is so dry, the olive oil, while I'm not putting a lot, it does help keep it moist. So you just do 1 tablespoon. All right, so there's that.
Okay.
All right, so now hand me the blue bowl and then the teaspoon. So now I'm going to show you what ingredients I use to make these turkey meatballs. So for this, I know earlier I used Himalayan salt, but for the cooking purposes for the meatballs, I do use regular salt. And the reason why is, of course, it's the taste, because Himalayan salt is very strong and you don't want your food to be too salty. So just do 1 teaspoon of salt. Now the black pepper.
Black pepper.
Black pepper. 1 teaspoon of black pepper.
Okay.
Now hand me the onion powder.
Onion powder.
You do 1 teaspoon of onion powder. I use a lot of onion powder and I use a lot of garlic powder, so I usually get it from Costco because it is definitely a lot cheaper. All right, so now we got the garlic powder. And that's 1 teaspoon. Now for the Italian seasoning.
Italian seasoning.
All right, and I use 2 teaspoons of this for my meatballs. All right, and then the last thing is the chili powder. So if you like your food a little spicy, you can put as much or as little of the chili powder as you want. I typically just put a couple sprinkles just to give it a little bit of a kick. And then I put it in a bowl so I can mix it together. And then I put it in the turkey. Now we mix it with our hand. All right, so you want to hand me the cookie sheet with the parchment paper?
Sure.
So what you're gonna need now is a cookie sheet and you want to line it with parchment paper. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna be making some big balls. So I'd probably say they're about tennis ball size.
Okay.
Maybe. So, so I learned that by making them a little bit bigger, they actually cook a little faster than the little meatballs.
So you kind of did this catch back and forth, right left thing. Is that a signature move of yours, or is that?
It is.
Yeah, that's called the old. Is there a name? Is there a name for that?
No.
Oh, okay. No name.
No, I
do they need to do the toss back and forth?
No, you don't have to do
You
don't have to do the toss back and forth. You're not going to need to do a lot. You'll probably need maybe 1 or 2 with your meal. Okay. Now we're going to move this to the oven. Remember we had the spaghetti squash in there. It's been in there for about, what, 15 minutes? Mm-hmm. So they should be done together. Sometimes the timing doesn't work out right, which is totally okay. But this should take about a good 20 to 30 minutes to cook. And the temperature that you want your turkey balls to be at, After they're done. That means that they're done.
After they're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
So I am now going to check to see the spaghetti squash and if the turkey meatballs are done. To check the spaghetti squash, the easiest way I do is I just take a fork and I just poke it, and if it's soft, then it's done. Now for the turkey meatballs, like I said, it needs to be at a certain temperature to make sure it's done. This might be a little bit on the higher side, but you just take your temperature gauge and you stick it in.
What should it be?
It should be at about 165. It's a little bit higher, so it's definitely done. So all you do here is you just pour it in. All right, so now the spaghetti squash is done. Get a fork, and it's still hot, so I use an oven mitt because I like to hold it, and then I just scrape. And as you can see,
Cool how it just comes out like spaghetti.
yeah, it looks like noodles. So that's why they use it for spaghetti. So you put this on your hand.
All right, I'm about to do one, guys.
Here to hold it steady.
All right. And just push it out, right?
Yeah, and just scrape it.
Oh
Like
my God. You know, I've always wondered, Missy made it all these times, and I've never actually seen how the spaghetti part gets made. Let's try these meatballs here. Take a bite of those. Gonna try mine. Compliment to the chef. And guys, this is a great, absolute great recipe to eat. It's a healthy one. We're gonna put all the macros in the description as well as the recipe. We'll put it in there also. All right guys, so this concludes our episode for this week. So you guys will be able to get a chance to yeah. Put your glass up. Okay, go ahead. Oh boy. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this week's episode. Hopefully you're now big fans of Spaghetti Squash Spaghetti. And don't forget to tune in next week. I'm going to be talking to a friend of mine who's lost 35 pounds in the last 3 months. And we're going to be talking to him about what he did to actually do it and get all the details. And it's the first time I've ever done anything quite like this. You're not going to want to miss it. As always, please make sure to like and subscribe. I've been 189 subscribers. And I'm almost right there at 200. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'll be doing something big for 200. As always, remember, it's your life. Take it back.